recognizing the need for the actualization of quality education is something we're going to talk about now, even at times like this. Now we have Patrick Nwafo, the founder of Social Light Limited, a company that offers digital marketing, social media management, IT procurement, and maintenance to businesses in Nigeria. Today on Tech, he'll be talking about e-learning and the different platforms that can be utilized to teach children online. We need to take into cognizance the importance of keeping children safe from immoral content online as well. But right now, that is the biggest window to the world. Good morning. Hello.
Good morning.
Hi.
Good morning, Tizi. Good morning.
Hi. So it's all brand new for a lot of people. E-learning, learning online. Our kids are being more and more exposed to the fact that the internet is a window to the world. Give us some of those platforms that parents watching right now can use to help their kids.
Okay, so when it comes to e-learning, I think there's still some gaps that needs to be filled. You know, for instance, you can't just onboard to the internet immediately. So there needs to be like a form of control, you know. So there are several apps there that you could actually use as a parent to actually monitor your children's activities, you know, starting from checking your phone records. Like for instance, now on the iPhone, there are particular apps already pre-installed that could control your screen time. You know, so there are other apps like Mama Bear. Mama Bear just gives you like an insight on the activities on the web browser of a particular phone. You know, so I think, you know, onboarding to e-learning, it's a gradual step. So I believe there's like a small gap just before you actually get into e-learning itself. You know, which is more like a re-education kind of process. You know, the digital space comes with no manual actually. So we find ourselves in a time where we just actually make use of anything that we can actually get together to hit the right goals. You know, so, and especially at a time when so many things are not in place, you know, so many things are not balanced.
Okay,
So
so
you find
we're
out that
talking about electricity and then access to devices when you say things are not balanced, right?
yes,
Okay.
accessibility and then other factors to, you know, electricity
Okay,
and
so I want to
the
take
likes
it
like that.
somewhere. I want to take it somewhere else. Now, a lot of parents themselves were not as savvy online as they could be. Are there some websites that parents can visit to find out more about e-learning for their kids before they even introduce their kids to it at all?
Yes. So, okay, so one of the sites that you could actually visit, you know, to check about e-learning is DigiSmart Nigeria, which is a platform that actually trains parents, and then teachers, and then students to on the use of or the positive use of the internet itself. You know,
Okay.
so one of the reasons why this came up was because of the fact that, you know, there was a gap in between, if you can remember when I said in between onboarding to the e-learning platforms from our normal school modes. You know, so what these platforms offer is more like an awareness training to make you really understand. For instance, if we use, if we say e-learning, you know, most of the time we just assume it's the teachers and the students. Meanwhile, it takes three to actually play the game. It takes the teachers, the students, and then the parents. Because now the monitoring has been pushed to the parents and not the teachers anymore. The teachers are just delivering. You know, so when you go on the DigiSmart platform, then you are exposed to several awareness training that can put you up to speed with what you need to learn to thrive in this new world order that we find ourselves in.
Okay, can I ask you to maybe put it in a particular order? So you're a parent and you want to get your kids involved in e-learning. What is step one, then step two, and step three of what they need to do?
Okay, so step one is visit the digital platform. Step two is join the class. Step three is you take the training at your own free time. And then step four is, I mean, after getting that knowledge and you can now apply it, before actually onboarding your child into any e-learning platform.
You know, some parents are specifically focused on their kids becoming doctors or lawyers. And, you know, there's some specific areas they want their kids to go in a particular direction. Are there online platforms like that that don't just give kids games and things exciting to do that can actually help them focus on that career path?
Well, there are several sites like that that focus on specific courses for kids. And most of the time, okay, most of the time we actually think it has to be specific. But looking at the way the world is now, you have information at your fingertips. So there are several YouTube channels or even Twitter pages that actually give this kind of guidelines for kids that actually want to follow a particular career line. So these are things that we could find easily. It might not particularly be a website per se, and I don't think right now. I think most of those things are still work in progress. So that's where the world is moving to. But now you find this information in bits. You find this information in bits in the sense that some people might offer it on their pages. Some teachers already that see the need for things like this have started putting out podcasts. You can find educative materials like this on Anchor, and then you can also find some on YouTube also.
Okay. So you mentioned Anchor, you mentioned Mama Bear. Of course, YouTube has always been there and some other great platforms. Please, once we post this online today, please, could you go to our page and write down some of those links so that some of the parents watching will get the chance to click on them and find out more about these platforms. Hope you don't mind.
Yes, no, I think it's fine. Something else.
All right. So now those platforms have obviously been created for different age groups, and parents can rely on them to also be safe, right? So we didn't mention the security protocols that parents need to, imbibe their kids in when going online. Could you just say one of the things that parents can do to make sure that their kids are safe online?
Okay, to ensure safety online, one of the things parents can do is to okay, so there are some particular apps that you could install on your phone to prevent access to unsecured sites. Okay. I think the function is also on the Mama Bear app. It helps the child not gain access, or it prevents the child from gaining access to a particular platform, okay, that is unsecured. So, normally when you visit a website or any page per se on the internet, there's usually like it's HTTP
like
or
maybe a setting. Yes. Okay, I think that might be one of the things you'll have to add to our social media posts as soon as we put this online. Thank you so much once again for joining us today. We really, really appreciate you for doing that.